Okay, so welcome, ladies. So this is our live Q&A, which can also turn into coaching demonstrations as well. And you're both on the Master Spiritual Life Coach and Energy Psychology certification course with Soul Awakening Academy. And you guys are at different stages in the course because it's an online self-study course. But we were just talking about the power of the support groups that you've been able to form and join, which is
Mm.
really helpful. So this really is your space to kind of ask me anything, to be mentored, to be coached, to talk about anything that's coming up for you in the course or the exercises and techniques. So it's really about what you want to get from this session.
If I may, I do have a question. I didn't know that we can actually ask. I maybe I misunderstood because I'm at the beginning of the course and just started practicing coaching, also as a coach, so on the coach's side. And what I found that with easier topics, it's sort of easy.
Yeah.
But then the other day, I was trying with someone who brought in a rather difficult subject.
Hmm.
And my question is because I watched back the video and I realized that, okay, these things went well, but these maybe I shouldn't have done that. Two things, but in one question. First of all, how do you do that, Anne Marie? That yes, you are there from the bottom of your heart with love, with openness, honesty, and so on and so forth, but you do not get too much drawn in. You don't get involved. You have those sort of, I don't know what kind of boundaries. Because what I found, and this is the second half of my question, what I found that the more I got drawn in, I sort of started to feel maybe not sorry for that person, but I did relate to it. I understood her problems. Um, I had similar feelings in the past. And then I actually realized I started to give sort of advices rather than asking questions,
Oh.
or maybe it was sort of formed as if it had been a question. But then I watched it back. I even showed it to my husband myself. That don't you think I actually sort of said what she should do? And I'm like, oh. So how do you do that? That you don't get too much involved emotionally. You don't sort of put that burden on yourself and then try to solve it straight away.
I think it's a really, really good question that you've raised, to be fair, because I can hold my hands up and say, when I was first started coaching, you are so invested in the client. You so want to see the change
Yes.
that they've come to you for. You want to help them make that transformation. You're so invested on helping them make it, and you you can get a little bit too not embroiled, but over you can project a little bit of your own wants and needs onto how they're going to make their change. Are they going to do,
Yes.
you can see your success as a coach projected a little bit onto what you're trying to achieve in the session. And what I have observed a lot with coaches in training, they work so hard in a session and it's tiring. Sometimes I watch a coach coaching and I'm like, gosh, they are so invested in this that they are over giving, they are overcompensating, they're talking too much
Mm,
and they're not sitting back and letting solutions arise in the client. So there's a couple of things that you said there. One was you had your own frame of reference for the issue that your client was presenting. So great that you've been able to reflect back on that because that's key to say, was I projecting there? Was I projecting some of my thoughts and opinions, biases, judgments, what's worked for me in the form of advice giving? Because that's what worked for me. So the thing is, when you notice yourself becoming that way, a little bit stirred up with the emotional content of the story, number one, that's going to happen because you're human and you have empathy and compassion. So that's great. You know you've got that. If you feel something staring in you, then that means you're human and you're connected. So that's
Mhm.
great. But it's what we do with that then going forward, isn't it? It's and then that's the ability and the skill of a coach is to be able to see themselves and hear themselves and reflect. And if it doesn't happen in the session, that's okay. You don't beat yourself up. You do what you've done and you reflect and go, maybe I could have done that slightly differently, and this is the way I'll handle it. And even if you have to go back to your client and say, listen, I've just been reflecting on our last session. How do you feel that went for you? And just see what landed with them. And
Okay.
the thing is, you really want to be able to have an open, honest dialogue with your client so they can say to you, listen, Judith, I didn't really like, or it didn't land well with me, or I think you missed the point, or I really would have liked it if this. You want to have that open, honest
Mhm. Yeah.
conversation. So if you were to say, there's just something that's been niggling me since the last session. I felt, and I'd love to hear what you felt about the session, but I did reflect and wonder if
Hmm.
I gave you advice
Hmm.
or did you really find your own solution?
Hmm.
And just say, how do you feel?
Right.
It gives them the opportunity to see how it landed.
So I can ask for feedback, can't I? Hmm. Okay. And it doesn't come across as unprofessional once you start your work. No.
No,
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, number one, you're in training, but I would do this anyway as a
Mhm.
coach because that's another thing. Just because you're a coach, it doesn't mean that you're superior or that they're broken and you're the one with the magic
Yeah.
wand. You know, there's that thing about being person-centered, that we're all human, nobody's broken. You don't have the magic key to. You're in it together as human beings. You're flawed, they're flawed, we're just
Yeah.
human, right? You've got a set of skills and you can shine a light on mindset, beliefs, all the
Hmm.
stuff that they can't see about themselves at the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Okay.
you just go and you go, look, and you're actually being really professional by saying, on reflection, I would just love to have some honest feedback from you because I did wonder. And the reason is your story, it does resonate with me.
Yeah.
And I do
Okay.
wonder if, and just see what they say. And they might go, no, it was people sometimes like the way that you are in a session, if you say, no, that's actually what I'm looking for.
Hmm.
That. I like the way you did that. Then
Yeah. But thank you. Yeah. No. No. That's a good one. Thank you. I
yeah,
like this. I like this idea that actually I can just go back honestly, open-hearted, open-minded, with an open mind, and just ask. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you very much for this. It's a brilliant idea. Thanks.
yeah. And it'll create a different space between you and your client as well. It will maybe build the rapport, and you might hear stuff that you think, oh, okay, right, yeah, great. All feedback is good feedback. And you want to get feedback from your clients as you go anyway,
Yes.
because every client's different and then their needs from what they want from you will be different to a
And I
different
guess you
client.
learn from the feedbacks as well. Just
Yeah.
the more clients you have, the more feedback you get. You
Mhm.
just evolve.
I think it's always good at some point, if you're working with a client with a series of sessions, at some point to say, let's just check in. It's
Hmm.
session 3, it's session 4. Let's just check in. How do you feel these sessions are going for you?
Hmm.
Is there anything you would like to do differently as we progress? Are you happy with the momentum? Are you happy with the progress you're making? Let's just check in on the goal. Has the goal changed? We still on track? Still the goal we're going for, yeah? It's good to check in.
Okay, thank you. And how do you make sure you don't get too much involved? I just thought to myself after this conversation that, okay, basically, I need to be aware of what I'm doing, need to be there, alert, and just tell myself, okay, I'm here to help, support, but it's not my burden. I can't solve it for them. I'm just here to lend a hand with my tools or what I've learned with the techniques, but somehow just remind myself. But otherwise, I'm not sure what else one can do to
Well,
not to get too much involved, and then afterwards, hours later, still thinking about it and having those heavy emotions, maybe.
I mean, again, is to remember that the person isn't broken. And you've always got to think, okay, so you were in a similar situation, you got through that. And when you look back on that, maybe you can realize the strengths
Yeah.
new strengths that it gave you. So this person is also on their own, like hero's journey, if you like.
Oh, yeah.
And you're the guide and mentor that they've met. And that guide or mentor doesn't do the work for them. It doesn't say,
Okay.
don't worry, I'm going to complete this mission for you. You just
Mhm.
sit back, give me your backpack. I'm going to do the mission for you. And then I'm going to get the golden elixir and I'm going to come back and give it to you. There's no fulfillment in it if somebody does it for you anyway. So this
Mm,
person's on their own quest. And as a
okay.
coach, you just learn to ask the right questions. And
Hmm.
that is usually, they're always about how they're currently seeing reality,
Yes.
what experiences they've had that has created a belief or set of beliefs that is creating the way that they're seeing their problem and their life. And there's something called solution focused questions. So if this were no longer a problem, what would you be doing? What do you want?
Hmm.
And I know you're here now and I know it's painful. But this is the thing that you really want, right? And you've really got to get a clear picture of that, how it feels, what they'll be doing,
Yeah.
what will change for them, how they'll be and feel. Really help them get that picture, that kind of sat nav, that destination clear, right? Because that will give them the hope that they can
Yes.
get there and the motivation. I know you're here and I know it's uncomfortable. Is there anything about this situation where you're discovering new things about yourself? Have you ever been in a similar situation like this before?
Hmm.
Yeah, 10 years ago when, okay, if you to look back at 10 years ago and see yourself now, how did that change you in a positive way? So they can go, oh yeah, these things do change you for the better eventually.
Yes.
And you want to get here, and we know what that looks like, and we know it's uncomfortable for you here. So, what would the next step towards that goal look
Be.
like for you? If you were to take a next step, what would you be doing differently that really is
Mm,
helping you towards? So it's not staying in the problem. That's
mm.
therapy, that's counselling. It's understanding the problem, but also what do we want to do with that?
Yeah, but where is the way forward? Or yeah, what is the way forward? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Anita, do you have a question on that at all?
Well, I was smiling because it's something that I've been experiencing as well, in a sense of not like for the advice side of things, because I've experienced things with not the people I've mentioned that I'm coaching at the moment, but other people where you're going through something and your intuition. My thing is, is this intuition? I feel like I can see why this is happening intuitively, and how do you use that without giving advice? I get a little bit stuck with that.
Because
um
you have to be able to call out the patterns that they're in,
mm,
and then they'll see it for themselves.
mm,
So if somebody is having a situation and it's based on a belief and a set of patterns that they're just doing, habitually in their life, and you're like, I can see if you keep doing this or if you do that, you're going to end up here. But
mm,
you know. Well, you can actually say that. That's not giving advice. That's actually being helpful in the way
Mm.
that I've noticed this belief,
Yeah.
this pattern, and this is potential consequences. You can say that. But advice giving is, I advise you to not not go on that date with that person,
Okay.
not take
Yeah.
that job. That's advice giving. Is that what
Mm.
you're doing?
No.
So can you give an example of what you feel is advice giving, which may or may not be, I don't know at this point.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think now. Oh God, it's hard to remember everything
It,
that gets talked about because I tend to be in the moment with it rather than,
it
do you know what
is
I mean? So
it is hard. I get if something comes to you. Yes, Judith, go for it.
Sorry, may I butt in? Because
Yeah.
I do remember one. And if you allow me, Anita, is that okay?
Mm.
of course, yeah.
Because, for example, what I did, and I think I was sort of trying to give advice, not on purpose, but to me it looked like when I watched back the video. I was like, uh, what do you think? Would it be helpful if you went and talked to your children and you just said that mom is going on a retreat and you are grown-ups and you can support each other? Do you think that would be doable or something like that? But then it was actually me saying that you should go and talk to your children, wasn't it? So I put it sort of this way that do you think whoever I was talking to, you could have a chat today with your children and just explain them that you are going on a retreat and you need this retreat. And therefore, they should only text you in the evenings and you will only check the messages in the evenings because it's now your time and you need this for your health. But then I realized this whole thing didn't come from her, it was me asking, but wasn't this an advice? Asking whether she could have a chat before leaving for this trip with her children.
Not really. It's not straightforward direct advice.
Okay.
It's an exploration of a possibility. So,
Okay.
it's coaching really. It's saying
Yes.
how, let's explore options, right? So you've got this dilemma, right? Currently you're
Yes.
stuck in it. You think if I do this, that's gonna happen and you're stuck, right?
Mhm.
So you want to explore possibilities. How do
Yeah.
you want to feel when you do X, Y, Z? So solution focus, how they want to feel. Well, I want to feel refreshed, like I don't need to worry, like I can switch off, that I know the kids are taken care of, that I can just be me, that I don't have to check all those things. Okay, so you've got their needs, you've got what they want. That's what you're working towards them feeling.
Yeah.
All right, so I hear what you're saying. You want to achieve X, Y, Z. Is that right? Yeah. Is there anything else? No. Okay, we'll go with that. So currently, where are you now with that? Like, how can that tell me why that wouldn't just happen naturally now? What's your situation now that prevents that from happening? Well, I've got this, I'd be getting phone calls every 5 minutes. My partner doesn't know how to make the tea. They eat spaghetti bolognese on a Tuesday and I have to make it. So you've got all this list of obstacles, let's say. Okay, so let's explore some options, right? And just let's see which one lands with you. Is there anything now you've said all that out loud? Is there any solution to that springs up naturally inside you now you've heard your own words spoken out loud about it? Just take a minute just to really tune in and just feel like what might be the best solution to help you achieve what you want to achieve and just see, right? And you can do that. And you can also say, okay, let's explore the options. If it's okay, if I could maybe share something that's coming up for me, as you said that, and they'll say, yes, you've got permission to do that. How would it feel if, or what would be the possibility of, and then name what you're feeling.
Yes.
And then they can say, no, that wouldn't work because da 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 da. or yeah, that's really good. I hadn't thought of that before.
Mhm.
So that's a way to do it.
Okay, no, I'm absolutely with you. Yeah, thank you. And what I found when I started sort of doing this, well, then maybe not advice, which is good, but I like this way, what you just said is more professional, obviously. When they keep silent for too long,
Oh no, it's brilliant.
because this particular person, I asked the questions I sort of learned from my studies, and but then she sort of just repeated the problem itself instead of trying to focusing on something. Okay, what can I do that brings me closer what I want to achieve? And I'm like, okay, she's still silent, so how can I bring her to think about things rather than just being there and being afraid of that this and that is not happening? Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Well, there's a couple of things in that. Number one, silence is brilliant.
Yeah, but if it's for too long, I just sort of start feeling a bit uncomfortable. Okay.
That's natural. You'll get used to it. Oh my God, this is so painful to sit in silence when you're first coaching because you think, oh my God, they feel awkward. I feel awkward. I've got to break the silence. I've got to talk. What's happening is everybody processes at different speeds.
Mhm.
So people could be sat there and they are swimming with possibilities and they could be imagining all different variants and then all of a sudden you might get a yeah, and then this is how it's happened. So they go, yeah, yeah. And then they're like, and they're getting, they're getting
It
a
clicks.
little bit, yeah. So you got to. The golden rule is, and this is a sales tactic, the one who speaks first loses.
Okay.
As painful as it is, don't speak first. When you have landed on something and you've asked it a question that
Yes.
requires them to go within, right? Find
Mm.
the solution. Don't speak.
Okay.
Just don't speak and just
Okay. All right. Next time I will try. Yeah. Good. Thank
I know
you.
it makes you uncomfortable because I'm doing it to you now and you're kind of wanting to go, yeah, it's all good, it's all good. So check yourself because it's a you, it's coming from you. The
Yeah.
issue, the ickiness, maybe there's a slight, you don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, you want to make people feel like good and you're rushing in to rescue people. So just allow yourself to be uncomfortable.
Mm. Yeah.
Just allow it.
Yeah. No, my thoughts were actually that, oh gosh, maybe I haven't asked the right question. Maybe they didn't really understand me. Maybe I should rephrase my question so that it's more understandable. So these were the things just running through my mind when I then started speaking again.
It's okay because if
Yeah.
they don't understand, eventually they're going to go, I don't really get what you're saying.
Hopefully, yeah.
But just let them come first. Just let them come first. Um,
Okay.
there was something else in that you asked, and I thought that's a really good point. There was the silence, but then there was regurgitating the problem. So, first of all, you have to make sure the client is coachable. And when I say coachable, it's not therapy where you're gonna sit there and they're gonna be able to talk about their problem session after session after session after
Mhm.
session. It's we talk about it the first time. We can obviously still talk about it as we go through, but the big story comes out at the first session.
Mhm.
And that's where you sit back and you let their story unfold. You
Yes.
find out what it is they really want and what they want from coaching. What are you working towards? You make sure you got that crystal clear and how much they want it.
Mhm.
So if your client is stuck on the problem, there might be something she just, can you give me a bit of insight into what the problem is?
It was about a health issue that this person experienced in the past several times. And then obviously the fear that it will come up again and again and again. And with the stress, however, she would like to, or that person would like to, live their lives as normally as possible. But then, just focusing on that. Yes, but it did happen in the past, so it can happen again. It did happen in the past, it can happen again. And there was a point when I felt, okay, we are so stuck in this that I'm not sure how to move forward to the goal, what she wanted to achieve, to, travel away, go on a holiday or something, because so she was determined to go,
Yeah.
but then, and I understood because her health wasn't 100% or isn't. But then this fear, how can you help such a person? And to be honest, yeah, I ended up saying that if I may give one piece of advice, and I'm myself am still learning it because I've been
Yes.
reading books and meditations and so on, that if you keep focusing on this, what happened, it's not really good. Just let it go. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen again just because it happened in the past. We are here and now. This is a new adventure. Let's focus on that and what positive things we can bring out of that. But this is
So,
sort of all I could say.
oh yeah, no, I get that. And I understand your client's fear around it as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I just felt, gosh, this is difficult. How do you help without giving advice, but then that person just repeating the same thing?
I mean, it's really good what you're bringing to the table today. So helpful. So if you've got a client who's stuck because fear, naturally, she's like, oh my God, is this going to happen to me again? If I do this thing and this thing happens, it's going to just mess up everything. I need to be thinking about this always, so I can plan for it if it
Yeah.
happens. I get that. So with your client, you must explore both options. Okay, what options do we have on the table? And which one would you like to go forward with? One path is you stay where you are with the fear and this constant worry and how much it takes of you and da 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 da. I want you to imagine living your life, going down that path, staying the way you are. And just allow them like some time. Just close your eyes, just take some deep breaths. Just want you to imagine your life 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, staying exactly where you are.
Mm.
What does that path look like for you? How does it feel? In 15 years' time, look back now across your timeline to the future you. How's it all feeling toward? Now let's explore life with you having taken the next path, the new path, where you do the thing, where you go and travel. How does that feel? 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time. So two paths always choices, maybe three, but for ease, you've got two, always got options, right? Let's have a look at what option A looks like. Let's have a look at what option B looks like. Now make a choice.
Mm.
Now make a choice. And when you make that choice, be fully committed to that choice. Are you prepared to do that? She might say no.
Mm.
If the answer's no, then let's change our coaching sessions because we're trying to coach you towards a goal that just right now seems slightly out of reach. How can we reframe a goal, a breakthrough, an insight, or you're going to feel that these coaching sessions are beneficial? Because I really want to help you. I'm invested in your progress. I see your struggles. I see what you want for your future. I really want to be here and help you the best way I can. So, what would be or feel like a breakthrough for you? Push it back. You've pushed it back. You haven't got a magic wand. You can't create this life for this person. They've got to figure it out themselves. All you can do is help them reframe. And if they go, I just can't commit to that goal. I'm too scared.
Mhm.
All right, that's brilliant. Now you've made a choice. How does it feel to have made that choice? Well, it's not really what I want, but it feels better. I feel safer and calmer than going off and doing the big scary thing. I feel more grounded. Brilliant. I'm really glad that you feel that way. Next year might be different. So even though you've not helped them achieve the goal, you've actually helped them.
Mhm. Thank you. I haven't thought of this, to be honest. I try to focus only on the positive, and I try to make her focus only on the positive. And I haven't thought of actually exploring the less positive scenario, but that's an option as well. Wow. Yeah, it's like, oh gosh, I learned now something huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
also an option because maybe they are not ready for that big step just yet. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, and you helping them realize that. I mean, it might not be the case, but just for
Yeah.
an example, you helping them realize that might just give them like the clarity that they were really that they really
Mhm.
need in the
Mhm.
moment. Um, so yeah, so if you're trying to kind of steer someone to a goal and they're really resistant,
Mhm.
you know, say what's really going on here.
Yeah.
You know, I know this was your goal, but there's a lot of resistance. Should we just wind it back a little bit?
Mm.
What would feel like a realistic goal? And
Mm.
just let them talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
No, no. Thank you, Anita.
Did we answer your question, Anita, about advice?
Yeah. Sorry, I got so caught up in that. That was really good to hear. Um, yeah, you did, and actually, I think we can get quite. Well, I know I've got quite sort of like reflect on a session just recently. I got a bit. Oh, have I done that right? Have I given too much of advice? It felt like it was a little bit all over the place, but then and this is a good idea. Judith records her sessions, which I think I should start to do. Really, obviously, permission being granted, because it is good to then be able to go back and watch it and reflect on it, um, and critique yourself. So I think that's a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
But this particular session was late. The lady had been running late, so we didn't start till about 8:30, and we finished just after 9:30, nearly 20 to 10. So she was tired, I was tired,
Yeah.
and you know, I'd been at work all day, and it was a long day.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing is that I ended up thinking, well, okay, she's already told me she feels like she's made some shifts since we've been working together. Um, Interpretation of the session might not be what she's got out of it, and then when you said about going back and saying, asking the question, I think that's a really good thing to do as well. And I think I'm going to check in next time we speak and say, right, this is week 4. How are you feeling about things? You know, from when we started to where you are now, just to get some sort of feedback, really. The thing is, people can be quite people pleasers as well, can't they? They don't always want to say, but I'd rather them say because I'd want to know, really.
Mm. Hmm.
But then it does also raise the question of what people's expectations are of coaching as well. Because if you've had, for example, if you've had counselling, which I have quite a bit over the years, it is quite different to the counselling. And expectations can vary, I think. And I think that's something I'm going to find as I go through.
Yeah, you know, having the counseling skills part is really helpful, right? Because
Mm.
it just makes the client feel safe, seen, and heard and valued. So you want all those like core conditions in place, person-centered approach. Um, but obviously you have to just tell them at the start, look, this is really coaching. It's therapeutic, 100%. But it is also about transformation and getting you from one place to the other. It's
Mm.
not really about exploring the past always. It's about understanding the past and how that's created a set of beliefs in you. And it's the beliefs that a coach works with. It's the patterns, it's the incongruency with what the client says about themselves, about the world, about their goals and their actions and behaviors and beliefs. So, as a coach, you're constantly listening out
Mm.
for, is that a belief they've just made? Where's that belief come from? How is that belief shaping their life and making their choices? Is it an assumption they're making about the world, about themselves, about the thing that they want to have? Yeah. Um, how are they being contradictory with what they're saying and doing? So you're looking for patterns about how the way the person's living, being, thinking compared to what they say they want.
Mm.
So it's about you being inside their head where and I heard you say you want to do this thing, you're really good at it, you've got 30 years experience of doing this business thing, um, yet you put yourself down a lot. You compare yourself to other people. You say that the market is saturated with people who offer what you want to offer, and then so it's like hearing what they're saying and then hearing the set of beliefs they've got around it as well, which are going
Mm.
to keep them back. And then
Mm.
that's where you want to be working, is to help them shift their
Mm.
perspective. So I had a client
Mm.
and amazing, really great at what they do, so much experience, really niche market they were in. Yet this person was holding themselves back because they said, well, I know other people who are probably better than me. Therefore, why would people hire me? And it was such a niche market. I was like, I've never heard of anybody doing what you're doing. She was like, really? I was like, yeah, like your clients will not have a clue how to do this. You're a specialist that they can't find and wouldn't think, oh, the market's saturated. It's only you who believes that because I've never heard of anybody, I've never come across anybody who can do what you can do.
Mm.
You've got decades of experience.
Mm.
This person's like putting themselves down, making them believe that, oh no, that why would people choose me? And you've got to kind of challenge their belief system.
Mm. Yeah, that's the thing, is that you have to be able to challenge gently.
Yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, the whole point of it is actually moving them forward rather than them being stuck.
yeah, yeah. Because if you hear that and a coach goes, oh, really? Is the market saturated? Oh, no, yeah,
Mm.
not a good idea then, is it?
Mm.
You go, okay, but can I just share? I've never come across anybody who does what you do.
Yeah,
They're like shocked because they believe
yeah.
what they see around them, and it's not,
Mm.
the reality sometimes.
Mm. The other thing, which I think I know perhaps the answer to this, but like when you get to a point with somebody and you kind of feel like you're hitting a nerve, but they don't want to, they're kind of like keep sidestepping the actual deeper issue in a session. I mean, my inclination would be to step back, and if you're in regular sessions, step back and then maybe revisit when you come back into another session somehow. Would that be, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are naming it.
Naming it.
Yeah, absolutely naming it. Only when you've got rapport, though.
Yes.
Um, to say, you know, I've noticed that when I bring this up, it kind of stirs something in you,
Yeah.
and just be
Yeah.
silent.
Okay.
Silent, 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 silent. And let them just, how does that feel?
Mm.
And if you give them enough space, they'll probably have tears. They'll probably break down. They'll probably be like, this thing, another kind of like thing will unfold. But it could be where you really need to explore. You know,
Mm,
people have got nervous system responses that will hold them back. So you can't force somebody into change through willpower. By, oh, I know eating chocolate cake is bad for me. Well, we all know that. But when we have a nervous system that has is wired to feel like the way they survive and get comfort and get their needs met is through binge eating, then conscious willpower is not going to work
mm,
when they've had the shittiest day.
mm,
They need it. So that's how it feels, a need. So it's understanding what's going on in the nervous system and in the body. What's happened way back when you had to get this need met. What does eating and binging on that chocolate cake give you? It gives me comfort. When in your past did this first occur? Or my nan, every time I went round to my nan's, mum and dad were, chaotic. Used to go to my nan's and she used to bake me chocolate cake and I just loved it. So now you're understanding and they're understanding them on a deeper level. So for this, so really what you're seeking is not chocolate cake, it's comfort.
mm.
Yeah, it's comfort. Okay. Have there been any other times? What else gives you that level of comfort? And then you can give them some like techniques, some self-love techniques,
Mm,
trying to help them fulfill a need, which now you understand is XYZ. What does comfort mean to you? If you were to comfort a little child or your dog or somebody who really needed comfort in the way that you need it, how would you deliver that to somebody else? Show me, tell me, explain it to me. And then you're kind of eliciting exactly what they're missing.
mhm.
And then as a coach, you figure out a strategy with them to look at other ways to get that same fulfillment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So we are coming to the last 10 minutes of our session. Anything else we'd like to share?
Mm, I think I'm pretty good because it's quite interesting that Judith's brought up stuff that's come up for me, and obviously it's meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, really, just the am I doing this okay? Is this how I'm supposed to be doing it? I've actually lent into it a little bit more and like let go of that
Yeah.
too much because I think I'm prone to being a bit of an overthinker on things. Um, am I doing it right? And actually, I find it's much better and easier for me, and it flows better with the client when I just go with my intuition more. And it actually feels really nice to do that. It's quite liberating.
It is, yeah. You don't need a toolbox. I mean, I know people feel like they do, but you don't.
Mm,
You just need to
nothing
understand
else.
how the mind works and the set of
Mm,
beliefs work. That's the most important thing.
mm,
Understanding how people's realities are formed through beliefs and experiences.
mhm,
And then
mhm,
you can question that and help them see a different way.
mm,
I mean, values, strengths, all of their beliefs, they are really good techniques.
mm.
Absolutely. There's so many good techniques, to be fair. It's just
Yeah,
what you're doing, you'll feel like you don't need any anyway.
yeah. I've been going through the toolbox as well, looking at
Yeah.
that. And there's some of the stuff we've covered anyway in the course,
Mhm.
but there's some really good stuff in there. That's a question actually. So, you can use those things out of that toolbox as homework for the client,
Yeah.
can you?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was the kind of like like
Yeah,
mythology behind
people like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll get people who like that. There's things like the ideal life or the architect,
Yeah.
getting
Hmm.
them to story journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are really good techniques in there, to be fair. And
Yeah.
some clients like them, some clients won't. So you figure that out
Hmm.
at the start. Because I did
Hmm.
used to give my clients homework, um, and they did really like it.
Mm. I think it could be quite shifting because I obviously there's things in there that we've done, and I know how much that's shifted stuff for me throughout this whole
Yeah.
process. So it's kind of like, you have to put the work in, don't you, really, to get the stuff out the other side. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's their choice, obviously. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you've got the 7 steps to spiritual alchemy and the awaken heart healing.
you've
They're
got to
coaching
those.
programs. Yeah. Well, they're coaching programs, so they literally do it
Oh,
for you. They're great.
oh, okay. I
Yeah,
shall
they're
start
brilliant.
delving into those soon then.
Yeah, yeah, you'll love them. They're brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you.
Judith, anything for you?
To be honest, no, thank you. It was brilliant. I got so much out of this session. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
good.
Even listening to Anita and what you just talked about. No, thank you.
Oh, my
You
pleasure.
did answer my questions, and at the moment, I'm fine. I'm just getting on step by step with my studies, and I'm grateful because I can't even tell Anne-Marie what this all means to me.
Mm, I'm so
It's
happy
it,
to hear that.
yeah. So thank you. No, it was brilliant. Thank you very much for all your thoughts and support.
My pleasure. Always available for you, ladies. So, yeah, just keep on
Thank you.
going. Have a
Yeah.
great weekend, ladies. Lots of love to you both.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
everyone. Bye.